Oh yeah, it actually just cut out when you moved it. So maybe you have a dodgy
Oh,
cable.
is it
It's it,
cool?
it's still
It's not.
fine now, yeah, but like
Yeah,
when you
it's not.
when you touched
Yeah,
it, it cut out for a second.
basically, like I have the cable hidden between the thing because I don't like
Mm.
seeing it. I have OCD, so for me, it's like if I see a little, like I have zero cables in my setup. I can like, how can I show you? Like, is there a chat in here? I can send a picture. Oh yeah, there is a
Uh
chat.
yeah, you could send a link for
Yeah,
sure.
but basically, like for me, it's like if I have any cables, I just can't do. I can't like focus on anything but the cable. It's really bad. So I spend like so much time on cable management. My table is all like custom made specifically for that. Like I have holes exactly even for my charger, for my phone charger. I have something that's like sticking from a hole just to not have any cables. It's pretty bad, but whatever helps me to achieve the creativity zone for sure.
Yeah, I understand that honestly to a degree. I feel like, yeah, I very much don't like cables either. I don't like clutter much at all. I mean, I feel like, honestly, to make music, you kind of have to give yourself like a lot of space mentally. And if anything else is intruding on that mental real estate, then it can definitely be taxing, especially if you can't stop thinking about something, right? Like if you're
I
obsessive over
think for
something.
for me it's like because I have autism and like OCD and like all these things that my brain works differently. And for me, like just going like coming to the idea of making music is such a different process than what most people have. Because for most people it's like, oh, maybe I'll just make some music. But for me it's like when you hear a siren and you need to run, when I have an idea, I just like it doesn't matter where I am. I can be at the shower, I can be outside. When I have an idea, I have a limited time of like 5 minutes until I sit down and just like just really like throw it all out there. And the thing with me in music is like I make a lot of music. Like I could make like multiple albums a day because it's just very the way I work. I don't think before I do something. It's just I've been doing it for 15 years. I mean, maybe it's not a lot compared to you. I'm not sure how long you've been doing this.
About the same, about
Yeah.
15 years.
At this point, it's like I don't think before. It's like some pianists just do their thing, and with me, it's like I've been with the same DAW. And the way I learned music, it was never like YouTube or something like that because there was no YouTube back then, and I could not even speak English back then when I was like 8 years old. I'm 23, so I started when I was eight. And with me, it's like I just had to play with it. The first 3 years of me making music was just me playing with bottoms and what does this thing do, what does that thing do, and the result of it became just my own way of making music. And it's funny because nobody works the way I do, and it's an efficient way. It's a very autistic way you can say of making music. It's unique to me, but because I have my own method, it allows me to be like very, very, very. I'm a very quick person in general. If there is something to do that takes a week, I'll do it in a couple of hours because since a very young age, because of my Tourette's, I was fully disabled. Like I was not able to shower by myself, to eat by myself when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And basically, are you a little familiar with Tourette's in general and what it is?
Yeah, yeah. I read your bio and it mentioned that like due to the war there at the time it gave you like PTSD and then you started
Yeah.
developing tics and stuff like that, right? And
Yeah.
then
So basically, like you were born with the genes of that, but we had like this war. It was like the first war experienced, and because of my autism, uh, especially when I was very young, everything was very dramatic. So let's say if, like, basically war, it's a couple of missiles and sirens, and there are safe rooms. Like you've been to Israel, you know Israel is like. It's just a normal country. It's a great country. There's
yeah, yeah,
nothing.
Israel's chill, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. I'm more afraid to walk in Chicago or any city in the US, almost like almost any city in the US than I'm here because at least here there's like soldiers and stuff. So I'm cool. I'm chill. I
Mm,
know what's coming for me when I walk here. But
mm,
basically, back then I could not understand. reality like at all. It was very, very delayed development when it comes to. I was very good at a lot of things. At age 6, I was doing graphic design. Age 7, I was building games, building websites. At age 8, I was selling servers, buying them from like China and selling the. Like I was very early adopter of web and internet, and of course it was before Facebook and YouTube. Literally, I had a YouTube channel in 2007,
Oh wow.
and
Yeah, I
I
think I
was
started mine around the same time actually.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
I was 7 years old. Well,
Yeah, I
what
mean,
I will do is I will take like so my autism was always like
2009 is when I created my YouTube.
yeah, yeah. My first one, I mean, like, it's not the one I have now, but it still exists, and there's like hundreds of videos. What I was doing is, so we had the CDs. My dad, he has like a computer shop, so we had a lot of electronics early on. He's that guy, and he loves music. You know, he used to listen to all kinds of rock, hip hop, and not what people listened in my country. Like he would listen to Rammstein, some Russian like music, and some cool stuff. Like I'm Ukrainian, so it was always very. He will definitely be on the outsider spectrum. Like I was listening to Prodigy when I was 5. And back
Mm.
then, it was like kids would not listen to that kind of stuff and the early electronic stuff. And I had all these CDs. What I will do is I will search the CD's name on Google. Then I will take all the pictures from Google Images. Some of the pictures has had nothing to do with the band or with the song. Just will download like screenshot with some old program, bunch of pictures, put it on Movie Maker, then take the camera, record the songs through the camera because that was a record button on like Movie Maker 2006, right? And I did not know you can just drag the audio. I would just record the audio through the microphone, hold it, and I would upload it to YouTube. I was doing like what UKF, like what now I am being featured on for like the last decade. I was doing that when I was like 7, not understanding like anything at all. I was just like, it's cool. It obviously had like 0 views. Now it has like 50 views, but still, it's a weird. I was living in my own bubble and my own zone, and music was always such a huge part of it. So I was a very early adapter of software, computers, all that stuff. And music was always this huge thing. Like it's the cliche story of I would curate a playlist, and then like my mom would come and I would dance for my mom and sing. And it's cliche, but when you are what I were back then, it's very extreme. Like I would cry and scream if my mom would not come watch me and hear the music I curated for her. So they realized like there was something deeper than just like, oh, he likes sound. And when I was like 7, I started to drum, to play the darbuka, which is that drum
Hmm.
right here. Um, and I was very good at it, like very extremely good at it naturally. And obviously, there were like the school competition, then like the city against city, and then the country against country, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a very spatial competition right after the war. And I had some ticks going on, but after the war, it was like very, very extreme. I was sure I'm gonna die. It was a very, very unrealistic reaction of a kid. But the problem with what I was back then is just imagine like an 8 years old kid that's supposed to kind of understand situations. I was unable to understand the reality of what happened. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna die. Everybody's gonna try to kill me for the rest of my life. And I would not sleep at night. I would pee myself and just
Kind
very.
of just like crazy panic
It's not.
attacks and
Yeah, it's not supposed to happen at age 8, but
yeah.
since Tourette was a part of it, tics started, and at first, like it was a little kind of minor. There was zero awareness to what Tourette's is. Like my parents did not know what it is. My doctors did not know what it is. It was very Nobody had any idea of what the of that this exists at all.
Mm.
Speaking like 2007, 2008. So there was this war. I'm doing this Darbuka thingy, like the competition. I'm supposed to bring the lead. Like I start, and then like more people come in and come in. It's a lot of layers of drumming. Some have the low area, some have the high area. This little drum, you can sit and play like 20 people. It's crazy. It's definitely an interesting drum. But I was supposed to start. And there is like 500 people in front of me. I'm 8, and all this excitement and the anxiety from like the war, I just had tics and it just fell out of my hands and broke. I'm crying, panicking. We go home. I'm crying my life out. You know, it's such a like I had this thing, I don't have this thing. Like fuck. I go online and go to a forum. I need, can somebody give me a software? I was 8 years old, but the same forum I used for like graphic design and sell my services anonymously online and just hang out with people that are 3 times my age. None of them knew I was 8. It was all like anonymous, but again,
Which forum was this? Do you remember?
yeah, it's like an Israeli forum.
Uh,
It's called FXP. It's back then. It was many like it was so many forums, like so many of them. I was
One of those
daily,
like classic PHP type forums.
yeah, like the really no design, just like cracky, but still like
Yeah.
we had community. We would speak through. Skype was early, but there was another software like Speak.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
or AIM or ICQ or whatever.
No, like something way worse than that. Like
Uh,
it was just a little window, and you could speak because ICQ like did it have calls like voice calls?
I'm
I
not
don't think
sure. I
so.
remember
Yeah.
producers though around when I was starting in like 2007, 2008 were like all using AIM because everyone at that time had moved over to other stuff like Skype or MySpace or whatever.
Yeah.
So
We
all
had
the producers,
Messenger. I remember Messenger. Remember like
MSN Messenger, the Hotmail ones.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that thing. Yeah. I was there from a very young age with people 3 times my age. So I came, I'm like, hey, I need a software. I have a screenshot of that I found in the archive of that forum. I actually contacted the forum closed, but I contacted the owner and I was like, hey man, like I need that because one day people are gonna doubt that I started like that. And because it's such a magical, I just love to document my journey like that because it's a little crazy how things turned out to be. But he actually sent me he had like all the service, like you know, in some drive he sent me the actual page and I have it. 2008. I asked, can somebody recommend me a software? First comment, FL Studio. Da 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 da. I'm calling my dad. Dad, he's Ukrainian. You know, they like he knows how to download stuff. Let's put it there. And I was 8. I did not like know anything about how can I even download the software. Dad comes in, FL Studio, fucking like 5 or like something old, not even the latest version, you know, like something very old, but he found a version and I'm playing, I'm putting these loops on these loops and I'm kind of like, this is not what I'm used to. This is not playing. But with time, the ticks came worse and worse and worse and worse. I was not able to play any instruments, not even write with my own hands. And with time, I was not even able to keep my eyes open. Like I'll just give you an example of it's basically like like this all day, and it's like an endless Parkinson. You don't sleep. I got to like 400 and something pounds. I lost 180 pounds, but I was disabled like 100%. I was not able to do almost anything by myself.
Hmm.
Um,
How did you end up like? Because it doesn't seem like you have tics really now. Like, how did?
I that's the story. Like I know. So you're like a musical genius. I get it, right? Like
Well,
it's
I mean,
all good.
it's funny because I had tics when I was younger too, so I can kind of relate.
Oh,
It,
that's
it came
very
from a accident that I had on a bike. I was like riding down a steep hill, and somebody backed out of their driveway, and I hit it. hit the car and smashed my fucking nuts into my
Wow.
stomach, basically.
Ooh.
And it took ages for a doctor to like get them back into the sack, which was like kind of fucking crazy now I think about it. But that like gave me this weird tick with my shoulder for a long time as well.
Yeah.
And
Thing is, like,
if I get really unhealthy and start like doing a lot of like substances and not exercising and not eating healthy, it kind of
mhm.
comes back as well.
Yeah. So like my ticks are still here. Um, I'll talk a little bit. So I'll explain why I'm here. First of all, thank you for even like having me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
And I appreciate you and what you do for the community. I'm listening to the podcast myself, so thanks for
Oh, it's
that.
awesome. Yeah, of course.
So many flights. I am a seeker for knowledge, and you bring a lot of like raw, authentic knowledge. That's why I'm very happy to be here and do that. We'll talk about music, but I want to kind of start with how I even got to like my. I want to show people that there's so many interesting ways to get to this like industry and scene, and also it did save my life in a way. Like I'll get to it in a second, but I'm healthy now. I was rock bottom, supposed to die, and like by the end of this story, you'll kind of understand how with music, not just like my Tourette's got better, but I was able to learn how to communicate with people at all, like from zero. So how I was able to kind of take the way method I learned with music and kind of just make my life about this and learning. So I'll get back to the story because that's when things get like a little interesting.
Hmm.
So my tics and Tourette's came to a max, to a very high, fully disabled. I'm 10 years old, gaining weight like crazy. I can't do much at all. School is, if I go, I'm getting bullied. There was this thing that people used to say, what can we wish to somebody that has it all? Tourette's, autism, OCD, like, oh, cancer. So lucky me, I did not end up having cancer, but the bullying and everything was too much. It got me way worse. It kind of a place that you are a curse, you're a bad thing, you're a sick child. If it's to your family, if it's to your the people around you are only there because they feel pity for you. Like you don't have anybody really seeing any worth. And then obviously high depression, suicidal. All day, the only thing I do is making music because if I want to keep my eyes open, I gotta fucking distract. And that's why I'm the way I am today with music and why I'm so efficient and fast and lists and so organized because it's a big distraction. The reason you see me now not having tics is because I'm distracted. I'm doing something that's so much more powerful than myself that when we finish this call, I will have tics. You
Hmm.
know, that's the thing, I will. But as for now, I'm distracted. This is like it's a complete different situation for me. So basically, spamming music all day, learning all of them: Ableton, Cubase, FL Studio, Pro Tools, Reason, whatever it is, whatever there is to offer when it comes to music production. All the FL Studio stock plugins. Then I found out about Massive, FM8, all the silent and whatever was accessible to me. Reactor, not Reactor. What the name? Not yeah, Reactor. When there's like little plugins inside it, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can like
Yeah,
patch,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
node
yeah,
based patching. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So basically, just playing around with whatever was available back then, and just I was I had a very big difficulty learning from back then, like 2012. We had YouTube and Facebook, but I I can't study anything like that. I just have to develop my own, like, put it in front of me. I play with it until I get it. It's
Mm.
weird, but I can't read a manual. Everything I learned musically is just I put it in front of me. I spend a week with it. By a couple of days, I can work with it. By a week or two, I can make whatever out of it. So it's always a very different way of acting and approaching software and new things and learning. But the good part is, because of that, it was like a game. I would make it a challenge to learn more and more and more and more VSTs and more things. And how do I create this? How do I make my own drums? And I got to a point that after 5 years, at 13 years old, I started my project Sex Whales, 10 years old, 10 years ago. I started my project Sex Whales 2013. And that's when I really started to like take the 5 years of playing, and I took myself seriously because I had no choice, right? Like, I just wanted to wake up, go to my computer, and do whatever it takes to not feel the pain, not feel the I'm a disaster of a human being to everybody around me and to myself, and I don't want to be here, so I'll just do this thing and just escape. It was escapism in its like purest forms. But the thing is, my health got worse and worse because I did not really take care of it. I just escaped to the software, to the music communities, like early Facebook groups and the forums, and just like talking with people online. And since my autism was, I never had any sort of treatment because my Tourette's was so bad. They would give me like 30 pills a day, because you start with one pill and then there is side effects. So you take another one, another one. You have to take these like 3 times a day. So at this point, like, my brain chemically is fucked. You don't give a 13 years old. I think it's not a very wise idea to spam 30 pills on somebody that young, right? Like,
or anyone really. It's like 30 pills a day of anything that's not just like purely supplemental, like, psychiatric type drugs. Probably not good to take 30 of them regardless of your age.
I agree. And I'm, by the way, just a little bit about myself. I never done like anything. I never had alcohol. I never smoked a cigarette. I never had any drugs. I never tried weed. I'm like trying to keep it as pure. Not that I mind, right? Like, people do their thing, but I was so traumatized by these like pills and everything that still to this day, like, I need to be very, very sick to get like an Advil, like very, very sick, like dying kind of situation. But I'll go back to the story. I do have like, I apologize to you and to everybody listens. I can get like very into like stories sometimes, so feel free to be like, okay, let's like, what's the next part of it. So
no, go for it, man. Yeah,
feel free to do so. I'm obviously, like everybody, just trying to find my way of explaining what's inside of my head outside. It's way easier with music.
Right.
So I'm 13, Sex Whales. I'm like very, very heavy, 400 pounds. I can't do much. I don't go to school. All I do is make music. I start to put music weekly on my SoundCloud. All genres, really: dubstep, electro house, Melbourne bounce back then, like glitch hop, Mombaton, like whatever I hear, I just create and I put it out. And I take myself seriously. I make these graphics for myself and post a lot on Facebook, and for the 0 likes I had back then. And I just took myself very seriously because it was a nice kind of like bubble that, oh, I do this thing, nothing else matters. And every release, I was sending it to like 100, 200 emails, whatever I could find. I didn't even know what these emails meant. I would like, I checked like a couple of years ago, the old emails from like 10, 12 years ago. And I'm like, I was sending my music to like agents, because all the artists had like their agents, and I did not know what book is. I was like, there is an email, it's the artist, like, I was so innocent, and I'm like, hey bro, like, check it. And all the music, like back then, like SoundCloud had this like dubstep EDM.com or like dubstep.net, or all these blogs that were very big. Like, if you were featured in a blog back then, that's like 20,000 views back then. And I would spam them again and again and again. And slowly, like, I got this YouTube upload here, 5,000 subscribers. Boom, I got like 50 followers. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's like a game. So I'm just every couple of days, not even every week, every 3-4 days, releasing music, sending to more people. And I would go and find channels for a specific genre just to make a song in that genre and send them. So I just had this game of I need to grow something and make it bigger and bigger. And I keep at it and keep at it, and a little thing here, a little thing there. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 13 years old. And people are like, what, you're 13? Like, what's going on? And I was using Google Translate. It was very I can imagine getting a message like that today. It would feel a little like, what's going on? But the music was cool. I spent 5 years like really, really trying. And my sound back then, like, I'm not gonna lie, we had no splice. We had no presets. I mean, some presets, but no presets. Serum only came at the end of 13, right? Like
Something like that,
the
yeah.
beta version and then the actual version 14. And so it was harder to stick out, and my sound, like, if I show you a track from like when I was 13 years old, you will say like, that's not compared to back then. That's okay. Like that's something that I can understand why I draw some attention back then. So I kept going and going, and then like I have like 1,000 followers on SoundCloud, like 500 likes. Boom! I'm like, if I have 1,000 followers and this other artist and this method I'm saying right now, it could work today because I was using a very brutal like logic, which sometimes you don't do something because it's not you just don't do it. But I had no rules. I'll tell you something, and that's my motto. I'm different. I've always been different, man. Like, I don't think the same way as other people. I don't come from the same culture, from the same country. But I can tell you one thing. I spent the majority of my life in miserable pain, fully disabled, not able to use my body, open my eyes, whatever it is. And I've seen evil in so many forms, and I've seen pain in so many forms. And even now, doing this thing, people don't think about us as a human being. They think about, like, nobody will come in person and say that, you
Right.
know? And I gotta mention, like, most of these people are kids.
Yeah.
Most of them are teenagers.
That's
Most
also
of them
true, right?
are,
It's like maybe when they get to our age and then they're like, fuck, I
a
can't
lot of
believe I was
them,
like hating all these people online. I was
it's
such
a
a
lot
dick.
of
And like,
it's a lot of hormones, like they have their parents and they are just mad at the world. And when you're a child, everything is beautiful, man, life is good. And then you become a teenager and it's like, fuck, what the fuck's going on? Like, what am I supposed to do? Why is everything so chaotic? And then you really understand that this world is not just about going to the park, biking your bike, and eating your spaghetti. No, life becomes serious, and people sometimes, just kids, can't process that. And that's where bullying comes from. And I feel genuinely like it's there is a lot of them, but I don't think there is really a lot of them. I think they're a very small minority, but it
yeah,
hurts.
they're just
And I
very
tell and I
loud.
tell you why it hurts. Me and you, we give all ourselves. We sacrifice so much. We are here for them, for everybody who hates us, who loves us. We're here to tell our story, to teach something, to bring something good, be a positive light. And when we receive hate, or we just, I just can't understand where it comes from. But what I do now, because with autism, you gotta learn emotion, why, how to feel, when to feel, to control yourself, balance. And what I do is when I see stuff like that, I just try to be like, what can they possibly go through that makes them feel that way? And then I'm like, they're not evil. They just don't understand us. And as somebody that's on the spectrum, I'm used to not being understood. Like, it's sad. That's why I love music, because nobody can judge you of music. Nobody can say, like, people can not like it. It's all right. But at the end of the day, music is that one thing that's always been such a safe place for me. Like, I'm not gonna make a mistake making music, a technical mistake, whatever it is, which you don't have many of them after 15 years. But still like it's that one thing that you can always learn more, get better, and it's only bringing positive light. You know, most of the people that will hate on a song, it's people that hate the artist to begin with for something else. And you know, I have the absolute pleasure to be here and to inspire people and to make people happy with my music. And EDM Twitter is like 0.001. You know, when Excision had that thing happening to him with like the beef and you
Oh yeah,
remember
with
that
like
on Twitter.
Getter and space laces and
Yeah,
stuff.
which I
Yeah.
don't want to touch that, but I'll say that thing. I texted him because he was there for me when I was in a low place, and I texted him. I was like, man, you do your what you built has such a large effect on so many people, and these people on Twitter are 0.000%. So it doesn't matter rights or wrongs. I don't want to touch that. But I can say one thing: there is a price to pay for what me and you do, and we spread a lot of good. But sometimes, like the price is that some people are gonna hate, and I accepted it. It's not easy. We don't deserve any of that, but I accepted it, and I'm hugging that. It's like you're heaven and you're hell yourself, and you create like you are what you're choosing to be. And for somebody like me, that look at me, I'm healthy. Look at me. I'm a human being. I can have a conversation. I can be on a podcast. None of that was possible a decade ago. Just a decade ago. None of that was when you was older than I am now. You're 35. I'm 23.
Right.
When you was older than what I am now, I could not. You see this thing I have here is because I had to hold my eyes like this to see something. I was not able to sleep. They had to give me the pills you give to horses so I can sleep for 2 hours. I was supposed to die. They told me,
Ketamine? Is that what they give to
no,
horses?
I don't even know. No, I don't know. It was not ketamine, but it was something to like very heavy dosage of sleep pills and sometimes like injections because it did not help. It's like a non-stop ticks and it just doesn't end. And it's not just my upper body, it's my whole body, my legs, noises, barks, spits, whatever it knows, like just your whole body non-stop. And if I came from there and I'm here now, so I understand that my mission on this life is to just help other people. I can change anything, but just kind of tell my story, keep my journey going. And I just want to, music was always there for me, man. Not just making it, but listening to it. You know, I was a big fan of your music years ago, years and years and years ago. And I'm a fan of many other people's music. And the way that millions of people listen to my music monthly and leave, like, I'm not saying fans, but people just enjoy my music and just go through their day and hear it and have a little, feel a little kind of something there. Oh, that was nice. That's all I need. That's what music was for me. And I just want to be that thing. And there are millions of other artists, and it doesn't change the fact that I can still touch people with my art. And I would love, if that's all good, to kind of continue to my story and my kind of like switch. If
Yeah,
that's
yeah. One thing I would like to interject with though is that I think it's really cool that you're like so empathetic in that way, where you totally make music for other people, because I can't say the same for me. I feel like it's somewhat of an egotistical pursuit for myself. Like I personally really enjoy making it, and that's why I do it. And having other people enjoy it is a really nice byproduct. And on the opposite side, if other people like hated it, like strictly hated it, then I wouldn't do it, obviously. So it's obvious a balance of the two things. So,
I
but yeah,
think
I
like
definitely think like it's kind of like
yeah.
80% I do it because I really fucking like doing it, and 20% I do it for people.
So I'll be honest. I think like if I finish my story, you're gonna understand that what you just said is like I'm the opposite. I do it for me. And if you want just one proof for that is Wales is one of the tiny. It's like this much of what I actually do. I can make 1,000 tracks a year, all genres. If it's pop, mainstream, hip hop, EDM, IDM, movies, scoring, whatever it is. So Wales is my passionate like that's my thing. You know, that's my I'm attached to it on that level. But to be honest, like music is at the end of the day, I have a lot in life. I've achieved many, many, many heights, which I'm thankful and so fucking thankful for. But making music is why I can sit here and not feel like my body just got into 5 car crashes in a row every single minute. Like, I am exhausting my own brain all day long with music and anything to do with music and this career so I can sleep at night. So at the end of the day, I like to be a positive light. I don't think like I would say I make music for people to enjoy. I think it really helps me to keep going because for somebody like me, I can wake up with level 9 pain and nothing can get me out of bed. But if I know I
Like
have a show to,
still
yeah,
these days?
of
Oh
course.
wow, damn.
My body right now, I'm like holding myself. You know, like I'm just holding myself. They can see it in the podcast, but you can see like I'm holding all of my muscles, my rectum muscle, like everything. If I let go at night when I go to sleep, that's when I feel it. You know, when I wake up, that's when I feel it because there is no distraction. You start from zero. And that's why I fill my life with all these healthy habits, gym, uh, teaching, explaining, like being there, helping, making music. Like I try to just be there for just do as much as I can until I go to sleep. So I think so. That's the thing I have. I make music for me, and I make it to not feel pain or die for real. But I am a very empathic person. And if it was just for me, I would not be able to keep going, man. So I need like this other reason to let me keep it going. And that's that part of like for the people, being a positive light, affecting people's life, being that person that I wanted to have always back then and still today. I want to be that person for other people. You know, I want to spread like
I feel like I have a lot of respect for people who have the like emotional resilience to just do their own thing no matter how many people hate it, you know. Like there's a few people that I know in the IDM scene who just make like crazy insane glitch music, and it seems like no matter like how many people be like what the fuck is this on the internet or don't come to their shows or anything, it's like they just have this resilience to just keep doing it even though it doesn't have that sort of like desired effect that we all you know hope happens to our music, which means a lot of people listen to it and come to your shows and support you and all that.
can I ask?
So
Can I ask? I'm so sorry, Carter. Can I ask an honest autistic question?
yeah.
Do you ever experience a near-death situation?
Yeah, so I mean, last year, the last couple of years before this year, I went through like a pretty insane drug addiction, and I ended up in hospital multiple times. And the last time I ended up in hospital, which is why I ended up going to rehab, I felt like I was about to die for sure. I like
Yeah.
basically ended up overdosing myself on Tylenol because I was in so much pain from doing so much ketamine. Like the cramps were so bad that I kept taking Tylenol, but at the same time I was also doing a lot of ketamine, so I like forgot how much Tylenol I took, and I just kept taking it without like remembering that I had taken it. And then all of a sudden it felt like my liver was like on fire. Anyway, I went to the hospital. They were like, "Yep, your liver is pretty fucked. We need to basically get you on a drip, and you have to stay here for like 5 or 6." So yeah, that I would say is
Yeah. So
probably
you
like,
you had your first. So can I ask, like, do you remember the moment when it all ended, all of it, and you went back home, and you just told yourself that everything is gonna be different from now on? You know that moment, like, I, everything is gonna be different. I'm not gonna live the same life. You
so I went home and I started doing ketamine again instantly,
Oh wow.
and
Okay, but that's
yeah,
that's that's an addiction. It's a
yeah,
different
yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
different
and then after
response.
that, after that, I was like, all right, I did that for like a couple more weeks, which was fucking stupid, and then made
But let's
myself
say
go to
after,
rehab.
did you have a moment of clarity after rehab that you said like, I need to change something?
Definitely during rehab, yeah. Like when I first went there, I was like, I'm just going to give myself a month break, and then when I come out, I'm going to do drugs again. Like I had no intention really of like actually stopping. I was just going to go and just take a break and then come out and like live my life again how I was already living it. But whilst in there, yeah, something changed, and I was like, actually, I think I'm going to be sober.
So I will be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I do not understand a lot about drugs, so I don't want to express opinions on something I'm not familiar with. But I'll kind of tell you the way I had it. I had nothing of a life. It was nothing like life for years and years and years, and you can relate to that feeling of just being alive, feeling dead. Like really just feeling like it's gonna end in like what, a week or so, right? Like this
Yeah,
feeling of,
I've had crazy anxiety before actually, where it feels like that, where like it's not like a near death experience where I know I'm gonna die, but I feel like I'm
oh,
gonna die.
yeah.
Like
But for
yeah,
me, it's like I was in a place that with the weight I was at and the ticks and stuff, my heart was not able to do that. And, my whole life, I'll kind of get to what was the breaking point, and you'll get it all, because you don't need to be an empathic person to understand why I am the way I am. Basically, I started this project. Things grew slower and slower. I started to work with people. One of these people was Ehide, which, again, it's very unfortunate, but I was just trying to do anything I can. He was a big artist.
I'm also curious. Like, did he also not
I,
know or
I
know?
I don't know. I don't think he can speak English very well. I haven't spoken to him in like 8 years, so it's very unfortunate. But I'm not aware. I'm asking myself, like, I appreciate him, but I'm asking myself, like, how did he not step up and say, "Hey, is that like?" How did he not say a word? Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, I that
he was
that
older than I am now. What
yeah. I
the
mean, if
like
maybe
if
you
I
gotta
was
assume that he.
if I'm not mad at him, I can judge like I will not judge myself, I can judge him. But if I was 13 years old, low function, ununderstanding of what was going on, where was he as the responsible adult with a career? Like that was the first big thing I've ever done. So it's a little odd to me to think that, but again, it was a decade ago. I don't want to dig that hole because I have so many wonderful things going on. And if it ever hurt anybody, this track, um, I will, until the day I leave this earth, make sure I explain myself and fix that. If anybody had any type of bad feeling from that track, because I felt horrible for years, even changed my alias, my artist name. So I kind of understand, but whatever. Like, I'm actually curious too. Like, I'm asking myself, but I don't think he deserves any of that or anybody else. I explained my part. I think it,
Well, I've got to assume that he probably also just didn't know, right? Like
it's a
I
little,
don't really.
let's be honest, like, let's not be too innocent like I was a decade ago. He probably just thought it was funny. Like, I don't know. It's hard to believe you're like 20 something and you don't know. But again, just like I would not judge myself and go on Twitter, and you can see not even one time I mentioned the word about him in any of these posts, because it's like I completely detach both of our sides. I explained my part. He's not really active on music anymore, so I don't want to drag him for something so bad and negative for nothing, you
Mm,
know. And let's just assume he didn't know. I think that's best, right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
mean, I don't have enough energy to go trying to hate on someone, so fuck
Oh
it.
no, no way. I don't do like the fun thing with me is I had to pick which emotions I want to like learn, and hate was just not one of them. I can like not like when I hate somebody in like human words, I'm just very confused about them and why they are the way they are. But I can't. I'm not like angry at them. Like even when I like stop having stop like a friendship with somebody or whatever it is, it's never like a fight, you know. I can't really fight with people because I don't see why would you ever not just have a discussion. But again, it's part of me is I, I'm very brutally honest, open. I don't have a filter, and it used to be horrible. Now it's a motto that I am like whatever is going through my brain, that this is me. And if I ever feel like I need to hide something, I need to change that. I need to work on that. If there is anything I'm ashamed of ever, I work on that like right away. Because if it's a closure, then a closure. If it's whatever, then whatever. But I just don't want to live life having things floating around me that I did something bad. It's just me. You know, I think I've went through so many hardships that just like the thought of doing something that will hurt somebody just like brings me so much pain that I gotta act right away, explain myself. That's why the whole thing with this track is so heavily emotional to me, because in the like I never do anything that can trigger. Go see. I never say anything controversial. I keep I respond to every message. I listen to every track. I hug every fan. I take picture with like I will literally. It's not about being a people pleaser as much of I want to be that thing that I want to treat people the way I would want to be treated, and I want to be treated just fine, just like okay, like no, you see, like normally and with some kindness and patience, because I never had that. So I'm trying to be that human, and that's why it's hurtful when things like that pop. But generally, again, the good thing is I understand today society and the way people think and act, and I learned the brain and neurological and the neurotransitions and where exactly what emotion comes from. I had to, because for you, like you were born and you could, you know, you were, I'm not sure, but you were probably just a normal child, I guess.
What's
Yeah.
normal? My therapist says normal is a cycle on a washing machine.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but you know what I mean. Like more of a traditional. You did school. You did like all the traditional stuff.
I went to school. I got bullied a lot. I didn't go to school a lot in my later years because I didn't want to because of
Yeah,
bullying.
I mean
Uh,
honestly, you're the worst
yeah.
person to ask that. You're just you're like me. So I mean I'm not diagnosing you, but I agree you're not the typical person. I like that. That's for me. That's putting hot sauce on the rice, right? Like
Yeah, I mean,
I
I've
like
been
that.
told by a bunch of people that they think that I lack emotion and stuff. And I mean, I'm also on medication that kind of like filters my emotion as well. I'm on antidepressants, right? So,
Yeah, I think it's more like your brain thinks of subject in more outside of the box, and I can see that because that's the way I am. Like I would not have the usual respond to questions. I would go from the side, not come directly, and it's because I'm just like we're just built a little different than the typical version of a human being. Which at the end of the day,
I think any music producer is though to like follow music as a full-time thing and put all of your eggs in that basket. You have to be a little bit
it used
kind
to
of
be like
crazy.
that. It used to be like that a decade ago, but today it's so much about personality, and music is not like the main thing. So it's kind of like you need to talk to somebody for a little bit to understand what they're on. If it's the people like me and you, the nerds, the forum people, I'm gonna be awake for 4 days and fucking like sip on some juice and make some stuff, and I don't see anything wrong with it. We are like that. But today with influencers and TikTok DJs and you know a lot of the people that come to the scene because like you know they have a friend of a friend that can push some stuff. It's a little different, but if we speak of like musicians and producers like me and you, and probably most of the people that care enough to listen to our podcast, we are different, and that's why I'm happy to do this podcast because I feel a lot of people will relate to me and my story. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, it seems normal to me." That's not because I'm normal. That's because they're slightly not, and which is good, you know. Like we're spatial, and I like it. Um, okay, I'll continue. Like I
Yo,
got
I got a quick question.
yes,
You said you lived in America for a while, but you moved back to Israel.
yeah.
Why
So
did you move back?
I lived in LA for like 3 years, and when so for the majority of my life, I was very, very like work, 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 giving up everything, all the like sacrificing everything for music because it's such a heavy distraction, and I needed that. Like for you and drugs, uh, I hate to compare it, and it might be very wrong to do. Me and this is a little similar. Like I can't not think about doing it or not doing it. If I go on vacation and I'm not doing anything for like 20 hours, I'm freaking out. I'm like feeling like I'm in space, you know? Like my cave here, if I don't have like a setup, I'm losing my mind, you know? It's to that extent. So I always was like, I just need to do it 24/7. No video games, no TV shows, no nothing. Just this and this and that and that. And you know, coming to America, I was 18 when I came to America. You were kind enough to also like help with the visa back then, if you remember, many years ago.
I yeah, it was with Josh Hernandez,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that was like
Yeah.
years ago. But
Yeah, actually
again,
I do remember that.
I
Yeah.
came to America, and it's so different. Are you American?
No, I'm Australian, but I've been living
Yeah.
in America for almost 10 years.
Yeah. So you kind of like, I'm not sure like how your culture is different, but my culture is like very, 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 very different.
Yeah, Israel and America are quite different. Australia and America are not that different.
Yeah. So he came to America, and it's like it's awesome, man. Like the scene is there, everything is big, and I'm playing shows, and it's becoming real, and it's all good. But I did not have a place for me, and you know, for somebody with my health, if I'm not taking care of myself, oh, that's not good. You know, that's a slippery slope. It's a matter of a couple months of me not eating right or working out or being in a good mental state. If I have too much anxiety, too much depression, I'm fucked. I'm disabled again if that happens. You know, I'm like back to square zero. Like now, good luck, good luck again. And in America, I was very fortunate to do what I do, but it wasn't nonstop, and it was too much. I was too young. It's good I experienced that, but I needed to get stronger. I needed to build structure. I needed to build a team. I needed to grow up. You know, I needed to become a man. I needed to learn more about people, communication, like one-on-one communication, language, human behavior. You know, all that stuff. I came there like just raw dogging it, and it's I was not ready. So
I'm
it
curious
was
also, like when like you were disabled when you were like 18 or 19 or whatever the age is for conscription there, did the Israeli military still hit you up to
yeah.
come
I'll,
or
I'll explain on it when I like get to finish the story of like how things changed. But I did not serve the army. I'm 100% disabled. And of course, they don't want me. I did go and I did lectures for uh, um, soldiers after their service, kind of how to start your life and just motivation because the story and stuff. So I kind of did my part when it comes to the country and do whatever I can. But you know, the country itself, they told me you're better off just paying taxes other than just giving us headache for 3 years. We could use your taxes more if you're actually like making this money and playing these shows. So I did not serve the army. I did not do school as well. Like nothing. I was not able to do any of that stuff.
right? Yeah, 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 gotcha. Um, so
Oh,
wait, where were you in this story?
yeah, yeah.
I
America. Why
feel
did I
like you
move
need to
back?
finish this.
Why?
Oh,
Why did?
well, you
Why?
already
Yeah.
we
So I moved
already
back.
mentioned that it's because you felt like you needed to grow up and structure, and you
No, but
just
but
felt
but
like
the reason is I just like want. It was COVID, and at first I was like, yeah, give it a month, right? You know, give it a month, it will end. It didn't. I went home and kind of had like a couple very needed like a year of just going back to being a child. I mean, it sounds funky, but I played video games and I watched some TV, and I worked on music more than ever before. During COVID, I made like thousands of tracks, like literally learned so many things and cultures, and really dived in deeper than ever before because I had the time and I had nothing else to do. But I also realized that with me, like I'm in America like 6 months a year, and I really enjoy living here and then being in America for the
Mm.
shows and stuff because it feels like I'm just on a fun trip. I'm like, yay, I'm in America, and when I leave there, it's like, oh, I gotta go play a show and go back home.
It's
When I
like
go there,
work.
it's a different mentality. I get myself ready. I'm grinding on the gym. The last 2 months, I lost like 50 pounds. Like I'm getting myself healthy, getting
Mm.
myself in the right mindset. Just preparing myself to have fun and just live my best life and enjoy my healthy journey and make people happy. So it's just so much fun to like be like, I'm here for 6 months and I'm like, oh, I'm tired of being home. Then I go on tour. And then after 6 months, I'm like, oh, I'm tired of tour. Then I go home. So I kind of like have this balance. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but it's a lot of fun to have this like, I have this life. I have a very such a simple, minimalistic life. You won't believe. I am such a. I don't need anything. I need my setup. I go to the gym. I have my wife. I am just as simple as it can be. The less stress, the less people, the least people. Just doing my thing and trying to be good to the world. And then when it's towards like very chaotic, obviously it's not bad. I'm appreciative as fuck, but it's a lot of
Yo,
flights, a lot of
you're gonna be at Lost Lands, right?
yeah. I'm also playing
Yeah.
you're in Denver now.
I live in Atlanta. I bought a house here last year.
Oh, I gotcha. You always move. You were in San Francisco, then you moved to
Yeah,
Denver.
yeah. I was in Denver and then San Francisco and then Charlottesville and then Atlanta.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be at Lost Lands. I'd
Cool. I'll
love
see
to
you
see
there.
you
Do you
there.
know what day are you playing? Do you know?
I'm doing Sunday.
Oh fuck, I'm on Friday. So
I'm
unless you're
playing
on,
with Infected in Denver in Saturday.
uh,
Yeah,
well that's awesome. Infected are great.
yeah, they're
Uh,
Israeli. They were my
yeah, I know.
childhood heroes. Yeah,
I had them on the podcast actually last week.
the last two people you've had are Israeli.
Yeah, yeah, freedom fighters as well. Actually, yeah, it's like a
That's
string of
amazing.
Israelis.
You're so. That's amazing.
It's
No,
amazing, but I guarantee you there's somebody on Twitter right now who's saying that I'm an oppressor of Palestine now because I've had 3 Israelis on the podcast.
yeah.
Like I
I
guarantee
mean,
you
I
somebody's
get
thinking
it,
that.
but I think like all of us are not like really Israelis, because we're more time not in here than in here. We're not
Yeah,
considered
I
Israelis,
mean,
I guess.
yeah, like I've been to Israel a few times and I've experienced the racism mostly against Arabs. Is like mostly when I hear racism there, it's against Arabic people, not Palestinians. Well,
Yeah.
not
It's pretty
specifically.
like remember what I said about like it's very confusing to me, like hate. So racism is one of these things, like
It makes no
racism,
fucking sense.
transphobic people. Like it's very confusing. Like why would you care if somebody is just being? I mean, like did any of what? Like why would it matter? We're all humans. I don't know. Like for me, it's such a I had to learn human behavior and some things I just never was able to learn. Like, where does racism come from? Because it's so, like, there is no explanation. It's just coming from,
It
I mean,
comes from, I think,
I think,
like
I
it's
don't know.
systematic, right? So it's like if your parents are racist, then there's a good chance that you'll become racist. It's like if your parents are vegetarian and they never feed you meat for your whole life, there's a good chance that you'll just be a
Yeah, it's
vegetarian.
the
If your
same with
parents,
it's the same with religion. That I learned about
exactly,
that. I learned
yeah,
about that
exactly.
when
It's like what are
yeah,
the chances of somebody in Israel becoming like a Buddhist? Like very low, right? Like most people there are going to become Jewish.
yeah.
Versus like if you're born in a very Christian based country like the Southern America or something, there's a good chance you'll become Christian.
I
Or if
think
you're
like
born in
I think Israel.
India, there's a good chance
Yeah.
you might become.
But I
So
think
yeah, I think
this, the way I see it is, I grew up like we had everything around us. I grew up with Muslim friends. I grew up with Christian friends. I grew up with Jewish friends. I grew up with because there is not such thing Israeli. I mean, there is, like, but my parents are from Ukraine and Germany, and most people have like roots. It's such a new country that is almost like 75 years it's been existing or whatever it is. So everybody has different origins. So my girlfriend is from Turkey and Morocco. She's Jewish, but she's technically Arab, like technically. I mean, my wife. So I, we all just grew together, and because of my, lack of understanding of some human behaviors, like most of the things that you say, like religion and hate, and it just some people, like you said, get it from their parents by kind of default. I did not have anything by default, not the good stuff, not the bad stuff. So it's important to me to learn about these behaviors, but it's so weird to think why would it all comes to like if you have like a question, just ask it. It's such an autistic like if you
So
just
I think
yeah, like I don't
I
know.
think core beliefs and religion come from your parents, and I think ideologies come from your friends.
Yeah,
So it's like
maybe.
all these
Yeah,
people that are hating on each other on Twitter, it's because their friends are hating on that same thing, I
yeah.
think.
But
Well, part of it is,
but the same thing, like this exact thing is why people also do good things, like help other
exactly, yeah.
people and support artists. So you can tell, like, there's no good without bad, and it's a cliche, but it's true. And I'm a firm believer that, listen, like, there's so much awful stuff going on, man. Like, trust me, like, we know it. We and both of us experienced quite hell in our own way, so we understand it. But I wake up every day, and I wake up every day. You know what I do first thing? I go to my living room, and I have this big like window to my garden, and I look to see if there is something. And no, I just see green, and it's nice, and it's cool, and this is how I start my day. None of that Twitter, whatever it is. I wake up. If something comes to my window, oh, that's bad. But until the day a rocket falls on my fucking house, I can't. I can't change anything. I can only be a positive light and try to have people make people have a couple fun minutes a day, or just feel a little better about whatever it is, or inspire somebody in a way, or just be there for somebody. Like, that's all I can do. So I realized when I was thinking about everything else, racism, hate, and this and that, it's such a scary, like, it's so scary to even go outside, and I was so afraid of life. And now it's like, it's unfortunate. I just gotta be, I just need to not to be a part of the bad. I need to be a part of the good. And it's cliche. Some people might say I'm stupid and I'm innocent, but hey, I want to be happy. And to be happy, you gotta sometimes be a little innocent. You gotta believe. I'm not believing in God, but I
Wait, isn't the saying, ignorance is bliss, not innocence is bliss? You gotta be
yeah,
a little ignorant.
I think ignorance is bad. When you're ignorant, you're egoistic and you only care about yourself. I
Well,
think
no, not necessarily.
yeah.
Everybody is ignorant to varying degrees. It
Yeah.
just,
Okay. So maybe the
yeah.
translation to Hebrew in my head, because ignorance for me, it's like knowing about an issue and not doing anything.
Well, I think ignorance can also be not knowing about an issue, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So now it completely makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, like I think being ignorant to like to know something and to ignore it, that's not only being ignorant, that's being like I don't know, just like not mindful or whatever,
Awesome. Thank you.
just
You see,
being a dick. But,
I'm here to kind of tell my story, and I'm learning new things. I'm appreciative of it. That's the fun for me. Like, it's some
yeah,
people.
so all right, I just googled it. Ignorance is like a lack of knowledge or information.
Yeah. So
So
okay. So
it's just not knowing something. So
yeah.
everyone is ignorant to some
Yeah.
degree.
Okay. I learned a new thing. I'm very
It
happy.
it does have a bit of like a negative connotation to it though, and I think that that's just because people have applied it to negative
Yeah.
situations so often. They're like, oh, that guy, he's ignorant, he's bad.
No, but I feel
I
it
don't.
because I see things in a very technical way. Like, oh, it's this. Okay, that's it. I don't try to go and see beyond that because my brain just works like that. Um, but I'll think like I don't want to like keep everybody for too long, so I'll try to like finish my story like quickly, and then we can just like chat about whatever. You're a very interesting guy. I could chat with you for a long time, man, but um, I'll
Maybe a
kind of
lost land tomorrow.
continue. I would love to. And even if I just like in town, I would love to just take it for dinner. We can do
Yeah, of
something like
course. Yeah, if you're ever
vegetarian.
in
I'm super down.
yeah, if you're ever in Atlanta, definitely hit me up.
Cool. So basically, I'm going back to because I really want to kind of like people to understand why I'm so weird and so like empathic and happy. Because
I don't think you're weird. Like you've definitely had an interesting upbringing in life,
I
but
used to
maybe
think,
like you said, the reason I
yeah,
don't think you're weird is maybe because by my standards, weird is not that weird.
I used to see people like me and think that they were weird because they're so happy. Like, why are you so happy? What there is to be so happy about? I mean, it sucks, but that's just how I saw some of it. Um, but basically, I was 13, started that, working with people, blah, blah, blah. 2015, a track blows up, SpongeBob vocals, very viral, top charts on SoundCloud, uh, million streams on SoundCloud. Back in 2015, I was up there with Skrillex. You know, it was before the download gates, like just right before all that. So track really gets big because of that one SpongeBob vocal. I made it with my best friend still to this day. He's not like trying to do like music, but you know, he's just my buddy. Um, anyway, I get my first. It's 7:02 p.m. I'm sitting in my room. I'm at my lowest. 400 pounds. I can't move. Pain, pain, pain. No, not going to school. Everybody's just like, I'm just a mess. And I want to die. I don't want to be a problem for anybody I love, right? But I don't have any reason. No receipts. Been doing this music thing and it's been good, but it's just internet and numbers and screens. So you can't really like, you know, you can't feel it to that extent. You can't explain your mom. You can't do that. 7:02 p.m. I get a message on Facebook. We want to book you in Paris. I'm not answering. I'm going to my mom's room and I'm just standing there. And she was thinking, I'm feeling bad and we need to go to the hospital. Like, you know, usually I would go to my mom's room and stand there when I'm like in such pain. I need to go somewhere to check it, right? Help. And she's like, what's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, if I ever were to play in Paris, would you be mad? And the first thing she said is like, wait, are you? Did somebody want you to play in Paris? And I'm like, yes. How are we gonna pay for the flights? I'm like, they're gonna pay for my flight. And she's like, are they gonna pay for my flight? And I'm like, just for mine. And back then, she was still like, I was not able to be by myself, right? I needed somebody. But also at that time, my mom was like taking breaks off work because she was like, we're pretty positive I was about to die. So she was just trying to spend whatever time she can with me. She took me to the pool to see movies. I was 15. I was like, you know, like a dude already, with somehow a little beard. And she was taking me just to like do anything with me, spend some time with me before I'm not gonna be there, if you know what I mean. And she just said like, if that's what you want to do it, even if it means you'll die. Just if that's what you want to do, and I say like, I would rather to die there and not here. What is there? What is here to die for? My fucking bed? What is here to die for? I'm a burden for you. I'm a burden for everybody. Just let me go there. And if I don't make it back, you know that I was the happiest I've ever been in 15 years. And so I did. I'm going there. I'm shocked, disconnected. I don't know what to expect. You know, um, I'm there at the airport. I'm flying to Paris. I'm landing. This guy comes, picks me up. We're driving on his Honda Civic, right? Uh, I get to the hotel. Mr. Sex Whales. I go to my room, and I'm like in shock. I'm like just not understanding what it's such a this is not happening. This is not happening. But okay. They come, we walk to the venue, and I'm expecting one of these like small clubs, like 50 people max, something very, very small. I come there, it's a big ass venue, like 2,000 cap people on the beach, called La Garzart on Paris. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. But I see like there is no people. That's why I'm gonna play for nobody. And they're like, no, your set is in 4 hours. Go sit. I go to the green room, huge platters of sushi, people doing cocaine on the side. I'm there with my ticks. Like that. Nobody understands what the fuck is going on. Everybody thinks I'm just nervous, excited. I could not speak English, yo. I could not just say like I have Tourette's. I could not even say a word. I was so afraid of everything, of the situation. 4 hours pass by, I go on stage, people screaming my name. Imagine like I start my set, I press play, and within seconds it feels like it was over. Best hour of 15 years. That was the first time I felt happy. The first time since this war in 2008, since the moment that the Ruka fell and broke, that was the first time I felt happiness. Like something, just anything that's not pain. And pain. And I'm finishing my set. I'm crying. I was sweating and had so because of my tics, everybody was dancing. The fans were thinking my tics, they were thinking I'm just dancing. So the fans started to do the tics as well. They were thinking I'm just dancing with them. And that was the first time that my tics did not matter. Nothing mattered. The only thing matters is I was there. I played my set. I finished it. I'm going to the green room. I'm starting to cry. I'm begging somebody to call the promoter. He comes there. He takes me to the hotel. I'm in my room. 18 hours. I'm sitting there crying in a row. I did not know tears can run that long. I was awake for 3 days with the same clothing. And then like, I see the time. I'm like, oh, they're picking me up in 30 minutes. I go shower for the first time by myself in like a year, without help. And man, it's not a shower. I'm just standing there and water is going on me. I can't hold I can't do anything. But I was so proud of that shower. And then I go out, I put the same clothes. I don't know why. I was in such panic. I had clothes to put, like new ones. I put the same clothes I wear since I went out from home, the same clothes. I don't know why. I just go there, get on the plane, I land back home, and my mom sees me. She cries. Now, she didn't see the show because I did not have internet. And back then, like today, you just do a package, you like get a SIM. I did not have internet for the whole time, for like a day and a half. She didn't know. She didn't know what was going on with me. And then I land there, and she sees I'm okay. And I'm poker face. I'm like so disconnected. Oh, sorry about that. I'm so disconnected from reality. And man, I just take the phone out. I show her the video. I took a video. I have this video today. I just took a video of myself selfie with like 700. I was not headlining, but 700, 800 kids, right? She cries. And then we get home. I shower by myself. I tell my mom, hey, no school, no pills, no doctors, no nothing. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die trying to do this again, or after I do it again. And since that day, I've been doing all the same as I did this day, and everything changed. 2 months passed by, my tics went down by 70%. 2 years passed by, I played in all of Europe, Canada, spamming Canada because I did not have my US visa. So I'm just playing a lot in Canada, and Americans drive to see me there. Asia, 2017, I lose like fucking 100 pounds. I become a man. I learn about people, I meet people, I fall in love, I start to experience life for the first time. And then I become 18 and kind of had a realization of what happened before. Because 3 years just passed like that. And all the adrenaline, then I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, but what is life? Who am I? Like, what's going on? Like, why is everything is so weird? Like, I'm so weird, and should I try to be like everybody else? Should I just be myself? And it was a very dark time of like a realization. And one of the thing was also that thing with that track from with Ehide and so many things. I'm like, what have I done? Like who was I? Like, what was going on back then? Like, why didn't anybody help me, or was there for me to guide me? And that's when I was like, but hold on, but I'm still by myself, so I need a team. I got my first manager, uh, Josh. Got my visa, got an agent, rebranded. Sexuals is gone, and all the mistakes it's all behind, man. Starting a new page completely, taking it seriously. I'm not a kid anymore. At this point, I'm like, I'm the provider of the family, and I got responsibilities, and I'm a grown man, and I have lawyers and accountants, and it's real, like the career is going great, billions of views and streams, and of course not like I'm not like headlining, but the music did pretty good. The music did pretty good. I played my first share in Europe, Canada, Asia, all that, and then I moved to America, got slapped in the face real hard. I was nothing again, like small, very, very small fish and need to build from zero. But I learned my lessons, and I believe since then, it's been 5 years, I've grown to be. The only thing that changed is I am accepting myself now. I always felt like I needed to be like other people, like this DJ, like that DJ. I need to talk like him. I need to make music like them. And when you ask, like, some people just don't care about the bad. Of course I care. It breaks my fucking heart. But I'm here to be myself. I spend way, way too many years not being myself, suffering in terrible, miserable pain. And the only reason I can live life now is because I'm just unapologetically being myself, and I'm just spreading all the things that I want to spread. If it's positivity, if it's trying to inspire people with my journey, and like there are so many things that's happened. Like it will take weeks for me to really tell everything and every stone and every situation, but I am I just became who I am, and acceptance is what really saved my life along with music, because like I enjoy music now just like I enjoyed it when it was just me and music. It was just us, and you know what I mean by just me and music. We all been there. For me, it's been years of just me and music. Like me and my little best buddy that's always there. Shitty day, it's there. Great day, it's there. You come out of the shower, it's there, and it's still like that today. And that's the thing I'm grateful for. And you know, I feel like we could have speak about sound design, and of course like I whatever, but I really wanted to come because I've been listening to the podcast. I know you're a genius, and the people that come here are brilliant, for real, for real, and I'm very appreciative of the knowledge. But I wanted to bring something a little different, and some people are going to relate to this, some people are not, some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, some people are going to make fun of me. Oh, look at this stupid optimistic kid. Oh, he doesn't know anything. Like, dude, life's fucking weird and not easy. Like, I'm not just like chilling. No, it's hard, but I choose to be like that, because if I'm not gonna if I'm waking up and I'm not choosing to be like that, I'm gonna be in pain again. And I've lived enough with pain. I just wanna enjoy what I have, because you want to hear the truth. Like, I'm healthy now. I'm in a healthy weight, and I'm in great health and balanced, and I have my team and I have my people, and it's amazing. But you want to hear the truth? I still have this fear that one day everything is gonna come back right away, and it's a
But
possibility.
it sounds like to me that fear is what drives you to keep living like a healthy and
Keeping
truthful and
myself
honest life.
accountable, yeah, and
Yeah,
also like
exactly.
it's It's
I have
right.
the same thing. I mean, I definitely suffer heavily from anxiety, and I'm also, as we mentioned, susceptible to addiction as well. So I also have to be careful about things like that. And for the same reason, it's because I fear, um, falling back into those patterns. But hey, man, I got to bounce, but I
Yeah,
appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's really cool hearing your story, and I hope other people enjoy it too. I'm sure they will. Um, but yeah, it was awesome. I don't know if I will see you at Lost Lands because I'm playing on the Friday and then I have another show in Baltimore
yeah.
on the Saturday. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll meet up there, but maybe we'll meet up at, if you have a show in Atlanta, definitely let me know. And
100%. I really appreciate the opportunity. I know this might not be the casual thing for you or for the listeners, but I do want to say, like, you know,
oh, this podcast, man, it's like literally just about talking about anything. Like it.
no, I know, but I always feel like obligated to speak about music when I do these, and I have so much to talk about when it comes to music. I'm as excited about music as I am excited about this, but I feel like there are so many people with, that can use this time to explain music. I wanted to show something a little different, and I'm truly appreciative of your time, of the opportunity, anybody that listens so far. And I do want to say that if anybody has questions or anything they want to tell me or say to me about this, about their experiences, just tell me what they've been through. Like I said, I'm just trying to be the person I wanted to be there for me back then. So everybody, everybody is welcome to message me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, Wales FM. You don't need to follow me. Like, I'm not trying to plug myself. I don't care about any of that stuff. But if anybody's going through something, feel free. And I do want to say to you on a personal note, thank you for sharing thank you for sharing your story. I am the kind of person that I usually would love to listen more than I love to talk because I learn a lot from people's experiences, and I appreciate you telling me your story. I hear that some of it, but it's more personal like that. And I do want to say, like, I'm proud of you for fighting and keeping it going because I'm doing the same thing, man. I'm waking up and I'm choosing to do this shit. So I'm I don't know when somebody told you that, but I see your hard work, man. You're here. You're really here, and you are not here at some points of your life, and that's I admire that. I admire that on you. I admire that on myself, and I really hope that people get the message. Whatever is going on, we control, and we can always be better and live a better life. And thank you for the opportunity. It truly means a fuck ton.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good one.